how many? My fingers will only do this. There you go. 54 of the Metal Round Table. I am Metal Rob, and with me, as always, is the great
Carcass John.
And joining us from, let's keep it weird down there in Austin, Texas, the great Fast Eddie Konopasek. Did I say that right?
You did, yes.
Excellent. From our house band, FOREBODE. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. We all have our smart glasses on. We're ready to roll, but
Oh gosh, we do look smart today.
yes, I need to address a couple of things before we get rolling. First of all, I want to shout out CJ Ortiz, the Metal Motivator, for my shirt. Yes, I supported my local artists while everybody is and was in lockdown. I believe I bought some FOREBODE stuff too, which I will get to.
Very much appreciated.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But okay, there he goes. The Carcass is supposed to be wearing an unreadable logo, but nope, he couldn't help himself. He knew that we weren't going to talk about Ozric Tentacles today, so instead he wore the shirt.
I said nothing, and this happens to be a 93 European tour shirt that glows in the dark. And I thought the band has enough credibility on their own, but the shirt glowing in the dark from a 93 tour, what can I say?
Yeah, I have no problem with Ozric Tentacles, but I do like the fact that you have to bring them up every episode, and so I have to.
But you do have a problem with me. I get it. Understand.
Right. Eddie, what problems do you have with Carcass that we need to address while we're here?
The list is just too long for.
It's endless, I'm sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I knew it. Well, speaking of one of the things that we have all tried to do while everybody's been in lockdown. Okay, so here is the first FOREBODE CD that I received graciously from the band when we had Eddie and TJ on the show the first time. But this, let me prove that there are two. But this is another copy that I got. Do you know what the difference between this one and this one is, Carcass?
I think the second one has extra tracks on it.
Boom. Yes, sir.
That's correct.
And you can also tell the difference. Now, all you collectors out there are going to love this. The first one, original one, does not have a barcode. But the new one does. I have both. That's because
So barcode works too. It's not just art on there either. It's a real barcode. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It is a real barcode.
You didn't do it just to be cool?
Nope.
No.
Nope. It makes
I actually have a couple other goodies here if you want to see. I think Robbie probably got that before I did because I just got my copy the other day.
I did then. I am a winner, see?
Guillermo made these. Guillermo, the bassist,
Oh, wow.
Patches. Media. He did a patch that's pretty cool. It's got the amps that we use on it here. These are my two on the top and his two on the bottom.
Oh, that's cool.
A really cool patch. And then he also made these really cool like holographic stickers.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, this was a surprise to me. So it's got the Bandcamp on there.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I think he also did a couple of pins here too. One with the design that I put on my guitar pick with the dogs. I don't know if you can see that.
Kinda, yeah.
FOREBODE.
Yeah. So yeah, you got some fun new stuff up on the Bandcamp.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us, obviously everything got shut down, weeks ago, and bands couldn't play and tours stopped. So what have you guys been doing?
We did take a hit because we had some momentum leading up to the shutdown. South by Southwest this year was going to be a big opportunity for us to showcase our music in front of some labels and some interested people who we were ready for them. Like we put in some work and put some really good sets together. 2 different nights we were going to play the Stoner Jam and the Spider Ball, which are the heavy events basically, at least the ones that I enjoy the most. And there's so many great bands on those bills. We were excited to share the stage with Yatra and a lot of our other favorites locally and around the globe, and that all just just melted, and that was a bummer. I actually have something kind of cool here. We have the South by Southwest posters that we made for that. For
Oh,
the
dude.
nights that didn't happen. But
So
we,
the shirts didn't work either. The ones that I did Pantera did it, and so did Weed shirts. That I
those
guess.
shirts did very well, actually. Those ones, I think a lot of people were into that design regardless of the event, but we did make event specific t-shirts for the Stoner Jam with the Pantera parody with the weed leaf on it and stuff, and
Yeah.
sort of pandering to the event, and trying to take advantage of a cool one-off thing that hopefully draw people to the event and to our set. But yeah, we ended up putting those up on Bandcamp, and those did well. But we stayed in touch. We did video chats. We bounced video ideas back and forth. Started working out some new ideas, and then still developing album material and thinking about what we can do. And we were lucky to be able to do a event in support of one of the most important venues in Austin, the Lost Well. We did a live stream, and it's called the Rock for Rent, is the name of their ongoing live streaming series. And it did really well. It's got about 4,000 views on the page, and brought in some money to the band and the Lost Well, and helping everybody out. And that seeing that Lost Well serves as a important staple in the scene in Austin.
That's cool. Yeah, 4,000
so
views. That's pretty good. Carcass and I don't know anything about 4,000
Gee, Christmas.
That's
We can
just
multiply our views by 20 and not get to 4,000, I think.
Yeah, that's
I was
something that
surprised.
happens to us.
It's you have to watch a certain length, I think, to even read for the view to read, and it's an hour-long set that we did. So, and it's our longest set we've done. We threw an I Hate God cover in there from Dope Sick called Peace Through War, which is a cool little gem if you can find it.
Yeah.
But the video is still up on Facebook. It's archived, which is one of the cool things about those live stream things.
Yeah, that is cool that they do that. I did tune in for it, and I saw a good bit of it, but I have not seen the whole thing. So I need to put that on my to-do list to go finish watching the video. But that's awesome, man. Did you see it, Carcass?
I saw parts of it, same thing you did. I'm temporarily off Facebook for now, but I guess I could access our Metal Roundtable page and check it out.
Share it over there.
Share it on there, and then I can see it. But that's cool that you were able to do something. I know our friends from Mothership did something similar and had wild success with it, and it's unfortunate. And in fact, we did a little record run to a obscure little record store out in the middle of nowhere. Our friends at the Record Guys and they were so happy to see us, and were very gracious about us buying things and trying to help them stay afloat business wise. I mean, there's been a lot of financial tragedy with this quarantine or whatever you want to lock down, and when in fact we lost the Gas Monkey Live, a pretty significant venue here in Dallas. I guess they're consolidating. I don't know if the lockdown had something to do with it, but I know that hey, if you don't have customers, you don't have people coming to listen to bands and buying drinks and food and what have you, you can't stay alive for very long. I mean, if you don't have people buying records, then nobody's gonna,
Yeah, and it's a blow for metal in Dallas too. I'm glad that Record Guys was able to stay open, and we tripped out to Abilene yesterday and had a good time. And they did it through online sales, but you can't really online sell your venue. It makes it tough. The live streams have been one thing, and it's helped, here and there, but that is a huge blow to the metal community in Dallas-Fort Worth for sure. I hope somebody swoops in and grabs that place, because it's a killer venue.
Well, and whether you like the venue or not, it still was a place where there were some significant shows, large crowds, and the Gas Monkey folks are always great hosts for metal in town. I know the bands like to play there.
Rob from
So,
UFO is telling us that it was one of his favorite rooms in the entire nation.
wow.
Yep. 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 It's a bummer that it's gone. So, uh, Eddie, before we get off the subject of Forebode proper, because I think we have some singer debate to talk about here in a little bit.
We sure do.
Outside of Forebode, obviously their singer is, let's keep TJ forever because he's a badass. What
I
is?
got something. Wait, before we go on with I got something about TJ. I got to share.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do it.
This,
Production value. He's seen the
this
show
is production
before.
value for you. We were helping TJ move into his new apartment yesterday, and I found this when I was helping him with his closet. This is TJ's pop punk band, Your Best Shot.
Wow.
There we go.
That's awesome.
That needs to be out there.
Okay. So if we Google that, we can find that, huh?
I hope so.
Oh man, I'm all over that. Pop punk band. He's got something else too.
Yeah, he's got Mad Hype, the hip hop thing.
Yeah, TJ
Okay.
is a very diverse person. I mean, I even saw his band bag because he played tuba in the high school band too. I mean, all the guys in the band. I mean, Guillermo he's got some side project stuff that he's working on. He's been playing some guitar too, so I'm excited and nervous and don't know what to expect from him with the guitar. And I know he's got a crazy rig made by our guys in Worshipper. They're building him something scary for the bass and guitar.
Nice.
I think it's 4 12s and 2 15s all in one big
Jeez.
cabinet. So
Wow.
that's gonna be
It won't be
exciting.
loud then, right? It'll be nice and subdued.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like real ambient.
Yeah. So the bulldozer continues. That's my favorite thing about your music is, man, it's so riff heavy and it's cool. It's very accessible for something on the extreme side of things. I don't want to brand it as extreme metal, but it is like a freaking stoner sludge cement truck just T-bones you unsuspectingly when you're going through an intersection. Man, I dig it. And I turned my buddy Goathead Lance onto it,
oh,
and he
cool.
can't stop talking about Forebode. So anyway,
Thank you for spreading the word.
Oh man, glad to do that. So what's in the future musically for you guys? What are you working on?
Well, we are working on what will be our next release. It's questionable now with the state of things, how we're gonna do it, if we're gonna go all out and do the full length and fund it ourselves, or if we can catch the attention of a label that would be excited to help release something like that. I think that would be, ideal, so we could do it properly and, or, just at least somebody on the same page.
Yeah.
But, we also toyed with the idea of releasing some, 7-inch collabs with people, or maybe doing another EP, because we have some new material that's really, really cool. We're excited to share it with people. But the other newer music that we're writing, we want the album to be cohesive and not just, a bunch of songs. So we want it to, be right and make sense. And I think we're still in the kind of recovery phase and figuring out what's going to happen.
Certainly.
But we do have a live show that I'm 99% certain is going to happen, pending any, radical changes. But we're going to be playing in Austin at a really cool outdoor venue with plenty of room for people to spread out, at the Far Out Lounge, which is where the Stoner Jam was originally expected to be. And we're going to be playing with some of the best bands in Austin: Duel, Greenbeard, Good Eye, and a lot of these bands that are kind of like in the heavy rock genre.
Cool.
Not all of them are super hard metal, but we're going to be loud. But
yeah, that's awesome. So when we were BSing a little bit before we started the show earlier, somehow we got on the topic of Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, episode was 54.
Yes.
And you said something about Can't Drive 55 will be the next episode.
Oh, Carcass said that. I don't do dad jokes like that.
And then I think, Rob, you shook your head or something. And I chimed in saying, you know,
There's nothing wrong with him.
I like
Oh.
Hagar. I gotta say, not even just the Van Hagar, Van Halen thing, but you know, the Montrose era, the Sammy Hagar solo. I'm even into the Wabos and into Chicken Foot and all the Circle. I like it all.
Okay, so you're all things Sammy Hagar. Okay,
I love his
so,
voice. I love his music.
okay, so David Lee Roth or Hagar in Van Halen, what's your favorite era?
Oh,
Don't even say that. What's the best era? Come on, let's hear it.
yeah, that's a better question, I think, because my favorite is totally subjective and fair, but the best is truth, right?
Right.
So,
Well, you're true. We'll see.
I
if
don't
we
know.
agree.
Yeah, I guess we can all have our own truths. I prefer, if you're gonna give me a record to throw on the turntable, I'm putting Van Halen 2 on.
Okay.
That's my favorite record. I love the Spanish Fly song on there. That was such a mind freak for me when I was a kid. Obviously was obsessed with the first album and Eruption. Every guitar player was, but Spanish Fly was just a left hook. And Eddie Van Halen's, you know, the black and yellow guitar on there is such a cool visual
Oh yeah.
for me, and I just love everything about that album. It's my favorite Van Halen album. But
Oh, sorry.
live Van Halen, that DVD or you know, I think they started off, they did a VHS and then they did a DVD pressing in like the early 2000s of it, but it was called Live Without a Net.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I think it was 86 or 80, yeah, it had been 86, I think, but with Sammy Hagar. And he just, people accuse, you know, David Lee Roth of, you know, being all flair and no whatever, no, like live he would phone in vocals or, you know, things like that. Sammy Hagar was both the flair and the vocals, and it was so strong. And he also ripped guitar on there, did a couple of pretty mean solos, and he was hanging with Eddie and they were doing their thing. And there's just nothing gets me more pumped than watching Sammy Hagar with Eddie Van Halen running around like that. So it's hard.
This was part of our debate that we had going on the way to Abilene and back yesterday. Well, first of all, you've got a tale of two bands. You've got DLR Van Halen, and then you know, they were separating by the time 1984 came out, and things were going poorly from all accounts. But then Sammy Hagar comes in. Oh, what's this going to be like? Well, is it better? Maybe. Is it more successful? Hell yes. 55 million albums, 60 million albums or something crazy. So how do you argue with best versus success? I don't know. Def Leppard, the first 3 albums, to me, that's Def Leppard. But hey, Hysteria Forward, man. How can you argue? So what's better? I don't know. But
I like eating it all up, and I'll leave Van Halen 3 out. That's
okay, fair enough. Because I couldn't. Yeah.
Please, let's do that. That's at least we
that
can all agree. We all can agree on that. Although even that record, it's not that bad. It's not great. It's not really good, but it's not the worst thing that's ever been recorded.
No,
but I think you're right. I think Hagar saved the band, and they did what they did, and they skyrocketed. Of course, they had huge success before that, but holy cow, man, did they get big after that. So you have a funny Sammy Hagar story, I believe.
I do. I have a really, it's sort of one of those, you know, the kids in high school who peak when they're on the football team and never gets any better than that.
Right.
When I was about 17, my family was friends with a travel agent in our neighborhood, and she would always get these cool deals and like let all the families know in the neighborhood, hey, this is the place to go. We should all, you know, do a collective vacation. We could do a big bundle. So we would do these family vacations when I was a kid to these cool places like Turks and Caicos. We went to like before Turks and Caicos exploded into like some like super fancy place.
Mm-hmm.
We got the word kind of before the word. And we had an opportunity to go to Cabo San Lucas on a family vacation. And I was like, oh, Cabo San Lucas, that's where the Cabo Wabo bar is. That's, you know, every band that comes through hangs out there or plays there. You know, Sammy plays there all the time, and he's got his band there, plays there like 7 nights a week. So we were like, this has to, like, you know, I wasn't 18 yet, and I think there was something about having to be 18 to do stuff, but it's Mexico, so there's not really any rules. So we made a fake press release, me and my dad, and we sent it to the management at Cabo Wabo saying, like, you know, guitar superstar Eddie Konopasek is going to be coming through, you know, just with his family for a few days, and, you know, has, you know, the time available to make an appearance if you want, kind of something like that. And we got a reply, and they said, yes, meet us here at this time on this day, and, you know, we'll take care of them. So we show up where they tell us to, and I get pulled in, you know, ushered into this area, me and my dad and the bass player from the house band. And he's like, oh, Eddie, we're so happy to see you, happy to have you here. Like, if there's anything we can do. They brought us food and drinks and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, we would be honored to have you play with us tonight. If you know, if you have, you know, if you could do that for us. And I was like, yes, of course. And at that time I was playing 8 hours a day. So I could do anything, you know, just name it, any Van Halen song, whatever you want to do, we'll do it.
Okay, so you were good. This was not just BS that you were
doing.
No, I mean, you could pull it off.
I was ready to go. I was getting ready to go to Berklee College of Music, and, you know, I was taking guitar very seriously.
Wow, okay.
Confident in my instrument. I just had no business really playing at Cabo Wabo. We're there on family vacation, you know. And so this is the story that this part of it was like, you know, he goes, well, what's your rig like? What do you have with you? And I'm like, well, you know, I'm just on vacation right now. My family, we don't really have anything. He's like, would you mind playing Sammy Hagar's guitar? And I was like, I think I can make that work. Yeah, that would be fine. And, you know, it all worked out. They had, you know, the moment where it was a packed house. Like, it was crazy. Every night there was crazy, but it was like a Friday night, you know, the big night. And Sammy did not perform. He wasn't there, unfortunately, but I'm told that he does get the lowdown every weekend about what goes on at the club. And we rocked. I mean, I had to compete against this guy in that band who was just a monster guitar player. He plays 7 nights a week in Sammy's bar, so you know he's good.
Right.
So I was playing behind my head, and I was doing everything I could to keep up with him. We were jamming on some blues songs, and we did Pound Cake. So we were doing some, you know, whatever stuff they told me to do. And I ended up staying up on stage there for like 45 minutes to an hour.
Man.
Failing. And it was probably one of the best nights of my life.
Photos, video, anything?
Yeah, they exist. My parents have some home video footage. I'll have to dig it up and put it on YouTube or something. But I do have some pictures too.
I have to see that.
It's got a Cabo
awesome.
Wabo custom guitar that Sammy. I took the pic out of it and put it right in my pocket.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, yeah, that's mine. Actually, I think I might have the pic. I could probably dig it up.
Carcass.
But yeah, it was the best night of my life.
That's awesome. That's way better than Carcass's story of him checking in on him at dinner one night.
Yeah, he checked in on us at dinner one night, and I just thought, man, that's cool, but not. He didn't invite us on stage.
I would love to meet him in person though, and tell him that, you know, how big of a deal. Actually, there's more to the story. It's just a quick little thing, but I did get invited to a Playboy party the next day because of that, and we went.
Okay.
Oh.
I missed dinner with my family.
So Fast Eddie is Fast Eddie for a reason. He grew up pretty fast.
I was behaving myself, but it was too cool to pass up that opportunity. So.
Oh my god.
It was the Cyber Playmate of the Year party on the beach or whatever.
Good grief.
That was pretty cool.
Man, I'm just gonna fold up the laptop.
There's some
mic drop
for the show.
Yeah. What am I supposed to say now? I bought a Clutch CD yesterday for $2.
Hey, I love
Whoa. Oh, well, we could have that debate maybe for another episode.
Yeah, I know. You guys don't always agree on Clutch. I remember that being.
Oh, I love Clutch. Yeah, the Carcass is the Clutch. He's not a hater. I think he's just a doubter.
There's some brilliance there. They're great. They're technically great. I just don't buy into all the hype. You know what I mean? But whatever, to each their own. There's a million Clutch records. There's a whole bunch of other great stuff and
I like
and
Blast Tyrant. If you want to give Clutch a shot from my brain, I think Blast Tyrant was the one that really got me.
Oh,
yeah, Black Elephant Riders.
Yeah,
That was
Riders is cool.
Elephant Riders.
What was that, Rob?
Anyway.
Psychic Warfare is the best Clutch album. I don't want to hear anything else about it. Okay.
I
So
wouldn't even know.
yesterday when we went to Record Guys, and I'm going to ask you this, Fast Eddie, and because I know Carcass knows the answer. We're getting tangential here, but that's what we do. That's how we roll on the show.
All good.
So yesterday for $2, I found a copy of the first record that I ever owned, first full-length record I ever owned. I don't know if I bought it with my own money. I doubt it. K-Tel Dimensions, baby. Yes, sir.
You bought that thing? I saw that sitting there and I thought, I need to leave this behind for somebody else. And it was you.
I bought it. Listen to this lineup, Fast Eddie.
All right.
Juice Newton, Queen of Hearts, Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl, Billy Squire, The Stroke, Pat Benatar, Fire and Ice, and then we get off into Hall & Oates, Greg Kihn Band. Oh, dude, I played the breakup song 1,000 times over. Stars on 45, and hello, Elvira, kids. Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. Singing your deepest bass voice that you can.
I wore the grooves off of this thing. So while we're waxing nostalgic about record stores and whatever, what was the first record you bought, Eddie?
First record I bought was first vinyl album I acquired were records from my dad's collection.
Right.
Which, the first one I remember falling in love with was Left Overture by Kansas.
Okay.
Wow.
But I think the
Awesome.
first CD I ever got was Ted Nugent's Self-Titled.
Okay, yeah, because you were
one
a
of my
CD
favorite
guy coming
records.
up, yeah.
Yeah, I was. I had tapes too, but I think the Ted Nugent one was a transformative CD for me, and then the Kansas vinyl. But I think the first actual vinyl that I bought would have been Kiss, Destroyer.
Destroyer, very nice. I heard that on 8-track was the first time I heard that. That dates me a little bit, but I'm not the old man here. Just saying. Marcus, what was the first record you bought? You told us in the truck yesterday on our journey.
Yeah, the first record I ever bought I bought two because I had a fat budget. I had almost $10 in my pocket, so I bought two records. That's putting a date on me. I bought Grand Funk Shining On, and I bought Black Sabbath Paranoid.
Nice.
And the very next week, I went back and bought Black Sabbath's first album and the Grand Funk Red album. And the third week, because we're just on a roll now, I bought Aerosmith Get Your Wings and Deep Purple Machine Head.
Oh,
dude, you were killing it, man.
And I still have them upstairs in the record room.
I have my
Buy and let's check them out.
That one's
anytime.
Yes,
check it out, Metal Rob. I found the Sammy Hagar pick.
Yes.
That you slid off the fretboard. That's freaking awesome.
Right out of the headstock. That's the Cabo Wabo pick that he had in his guitar.
I did a similar thing. I stage managed for King's X in Dallas one night. My buddy owned this club called The Door, and I don't even know if the club is still there, if he even owns a club anymore. But anyway, he said, "Hey man, come down and stage manage for King's X." And I'm calling him. I'm like, "Joel, dude, I don't know anything about stage managing. Just come to the club, dude. It's okay." So I went down and helped them point the lights, and they went through sound check and whatever they needed. And I went and couriered some delicious beverages for them and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Well, during the show, one of Jerry's sticks comes out of his hand, and it falls behind his kit between the stage and the wall, which is about space about that big. You think I didn't make a mental note of that? You better believe I did. And it's right there. Yep. Jerry Gaskell's stick from some show in Dallas at The Door. Yay. Yeah. You take advantage of those opportunities. Like, you also take advantage of this opportunity. I went and saw Black Star Riders a few years ago, which was basically Thin Lizzy revamped, with the new singer, and Scott Gorham was really the only, member of Thin Lizzy, or from the classic Lizzy in the band. And so we went, and my buddy Don Wishon was the promoter for that. He's like, come on down. Yeah. We bought our tickets and we went, and I stood just 1 foot from Scott Gorham all night and watched him play guitar. He threw out no picks that night. He dropped one and somebody got it. And when he was done, he did the wave like this with the pick in his hand. And I'm standing right there. He looks me right in the eye and just puts it in my hand.
Nice.
And I was just like, okay, I win. Yes. So I have a Scott Gorham game used pick.
That is a win.
That is
quick shout out to my friends Nelson, Eric, and Justin. They know that my nickname in Austin is the pick magnet. That if one gets launched, I'm getting it. It's moving.
Nice.
It either lands like right here, or I know where it is and I go get it.
Oh man. See, I took my youngest and my stepson to go see Kiss a couple of years ago. My youngest is standing here like this, and we're on, I don't know, 7th, 8th, 9th row, something right near the middle. Paul Stanley just jets one right in his chest, right between the numbers, man, just boom. And he's just standing there and looks down, and it just hits the floor, and he's just like, what? And of course,
pick that up.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, you come on, but yeah, he didn't get it, but he did get hit in the chest with a Paul Stanley pick, so we came that close at least.
I got oh man, where is it? I took my 10-year-old to go to the Karbach Brewery to see Ace Frehley, and we were joking about, oh, here we go. I mean, I had her as like my little pick hound too, because she was going through legs. We got some really cool ones with the album art on it.
Oh, dude.
But I think we got 8 of these, and we were like, oh, we only got 8?
Okay, so now that we've gone into pick talk, okay.
Oh gosh, do I need to get involved somehow?
Yeah, you got a pretty cool little wall, I know, on the side there.
Yeah, so I'm only going to show a couple because it'll take us forever. We'll be here all afternoon. Okay.
Well, I'll show one to break up the monotony. How about that?
Nice.
And it's metal. It's made of metal.
Okay, watch this.
Nice.
So in 2009, I had to look at the poster. I took my oldest son to see Kiss, and we had front row tickets right in front of Gene Simmons, American Airlines Center. We could not have been any closer. If he had stuck his boot off the edge of the stage, I could have slapped it. Okay, so there I am with my 11-year-old son, and he's leaning on the rail, and I'm standing behind him with my arms around him, thinking it's going to get crazy. Well, it's not going to get crazy.
All right.
But anyway, this dude comes out at the first, and he's got a Kiss work shirt on, and it said Kiss, and then like, I can't remember, Stage Crew or something. And he walks right up to me and Steven, and he says, hey, is this your first concert? Talking to Steven. And he said, yes, it is. And he said, well, after the show, don't go anywhere. I'm going to have something for you at the end of the show. And okay, cool. So he, rolls off into, Never Never Land to do his gig. So long story longer, the Buck Cherry guys come out because they're the opening band, and they see Steven in the front row, and they flicked him one of every color.
Nice.
Just boom, 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 until he got one. So he's got a pocket load of picks.
Wow.
So during the show, the corner of the stage goes right up to the lower bowl. I mean, it's literally 2 or 3 feet from the edge of the lower bowl. And so Gene is motioning to this little girl, and I mean, she's 4 or 5, and what he's trying to do is hand her something. And I don't remember what it was, a pick or I don't know what, but he's trying to hand her something. Well, Dad holds her out, not dangerous, but he holds her up for her to get it. And she steps onto the stage. instead of taking what Gene is handing, she steps onto the edge of the stage, and Gene's like, no, 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 we can't do this. Well, this catches my attention, so I go down and take a picture of Gene with his hand on the little girl's head. And of course, security comes out and they hand her back to Dad, and it's all good. And so I'm looking down the aisle, and I can see Dad looking at his camera, and I can see him mouthing the words to his wife, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Oh, you got it.
So he didn't take a picture. So I go down there and just, hey, man, give me your email address, and I'll text you this picture right now. I had a perfect framed shot of her on the stage. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We get to talking. I go back down the aisle, to where my kid is at, and he's holding a freaking Eric Singer drumstick. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, as soon as the drum solo was over, he walked right down here and put this right in my hand.
So cool.
And I'm not even there. So no good deed goes unpunished, as they say. But I was happy to help the guy, and the drumstick is also right there.
Right up there.
With Jerry Gaskell's stick. So
I got a crown jewel for you. Bring it back to the DFW metal scene.
Oh, man.
This one was given to me. I was with Carcass at the show. We went and saw the band Carcass with Carcass, and Larry Holmes hooked me up with a Bruce Corbett.
Oh, dude.
Pick. So that's a special one.
So at the end of the Kiss show.
Oh, sorry. I thought that.
No, it's okay. No. You're doing great. I don't have one of those. You're.
I don't have one of those.
We'll have to figure out who wins here, because everybody's got a good.
Oh, you guys are gonna win. I'm just.
So the end of the show, the worker guy from the Kiss crew comes over, and he tells Steven to hold out his hand. So Steven holds out his hand, and the guy drops 4 guitar picks. He said, these are all stage used tonight except for one, because obviously the drummer doesn't use guitar picks.
Right.
He said, but I threw in an Eric Singer guitar pick. That's a great pick. You see that stain?
Yeah.
That's fake blood.
That's nice, man.
Oh, man.
How
I
about
have an
that?
Eric Singer one as well in my little collection here, but
Carcass's wheels are turning.
I
found a Ted Nugent one.
Oh, nice.
And this one's pretty cool. This is Kirk from Crowbar, and he did the Hulk Blood, Rest in Peace Dime, from when they did it on the Pantera home videos.
Oh,
wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
I don't have a Daryl pick. I have Scotty from Skid Row. I got that one from 90 maybe? 91? That was a good one. I had a Jeff Hanneman. I went to Clash of the Titans.
Oh, nice.
Front row, got a Jeff Hanneman pick. And this dude next to me was just wigging out, just trade me, because he got a Frankie Bello pick. And so I traded him because he was just losing his mind. I still have the Frankie Bello pick. And I'm stoked to have it, but I sure would like to have that Hanneman pick back. Man, we went off into pick talk.
It's
man,
cool.
I wish I would have known. I have a whole box full of them, and I would have been trading barbs.
We are unscripted and we are unrehearsed, baby. And I think Eddie's about to show us a treasure.
Uh-oh.
These are my crown jewels here. But I do have these are my dime bags up here.
Wow.
From they're all Damage Plan. But I got some Zakk Wyldes over here. I got some Def Leppards and Megadeths, and I got Neil Schon from Journey when he did the guitar. He did a Star Spangled Banner at Wrigley Field before a Cubs game when I was a kid. I ran down and pick and rolled the security to get down there and shake his hand, and he gave me a couple of those.
We could do a whole episode on Pick Talk.
We should probably do that.
No doubt.
We definitely could. Well, Carcass, what say you, brother? What have I forgotten? Because I'm getting old. Not as old as you.
What have you forgotten? Well, we didn't really do any shout outs, although we sort of shouted out the record guys.
The Metal Motivator.
Grateful that they're open. We shouted out CJ Ortiz. And man, it was fun times just getting out and driving and shooting the breeze with the fellas. And Fast Eddie, who's a good friend, called me this morning and we had a nice chat. And so he was a great conversation. We continued along, and this is what it's all about, man. It's about brotherhood, camaraderie,
Yep.
and just because we don't agree on clutch doesn't mean we still can't like each other. And we don't agree on clutch, I can tell you that right now. But that's beside the point, because as you mentioned yesterday on our philosophical journey, we find common ground with each other, and we enjoy our differences, and we respect the differences, and then we relish those moments in our common ground. So I don't want to be all philosophical either. That's for CJ Ortiz. He's better at that than I am. But that's basically the crux of what I enjoy about music and meeting people and so forth. And so, hey, and the way I met Eddie was completely random. He was introduced to something that I drew, who introduced him to a band that I drew it for, and then all of a sudden now it's like we've known each other for 100 years, like kind of like you and me in the cassette thing.
Yeah.
So,
hey, denim and leather brought us all together.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, I knew.
Okay, Dad.
I deserve that.
What do they say? Dad jokes is how I roll.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I tried.
Boy. I think you've killed all the steam in this episode.
Yeah, stand up is not my thing. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Well, with that, Eddie, what else have you got, brother?
I guess a shout out for the other boys in FOREBODE, to Zach and TJ and Guillermo, and all of the fine people who have been going out of their way to support their favorite bands and their friends and families, and art that they make and things that they care about. I think that we've had a really good wave of positivity just in some treacherous waters in social media. It's cool to see some people going out of their way to support and try to keep their scenes alive, their venues, their record stores, the bands and the artists, everybody. And I just want to say thanks to everybody who's done that and continues to do that. I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And speaking of, I'll put the Bandcamp, the FOREBODE Bandcamp link in the description of the video when I get it up on YouTube.
Thank you.
Cool. Awesome, man. It is so great that I'm sitting here working on my computer, and all of a sudden I get a message from the Carcass. Are you ready to go live with Fast Eddie? Yes.
Very cool.
Yes. FOREBODE, the official Metal Roundtable house band.
Absolutely. And we had planned to do a live show. Some logistics didn't happen, but we're going to still, I have a feeling before, I don't know, my birthday in September, maybe that there'll be a live Casa de Carcass FOREBODE show.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Like it.
Could happen.
That'd be awesome.
I like it.
I think we'll readdress rescheduling.
And that might call for the pick of destiny at that show.
Oh my gosh. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Okay. I think you win.
I would love to know my destiny and
Not
bring
to
that
flex
pick
too
with
hard,
you.
but
the pick of destiny. Awesome. Well, until we turn I almost said triple nipples.
Dude, I thought that's what you were saying. I'm like, PG-13, bro. PG-13. You're still thinking about
triple.
You're still thinking about the Eddie's trip to the Playboy party in Cabo San Lucas.
That's right.
Fully clothed.
Until we turn not triple nickels, but double nickels, 55 for the next episode, which we also can't drive. That is it for the Metal Roundtable, episode 54. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Fast Eddie Konopasek. Keep
My pleasure.
all things in Austin weird. And until next time, you know what we do here. Metal
will
prevail. Jazz finger.